Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com, and in this video we're looking at the new Hamilton Khaki Field Murph 42mm, and this is the new part, now on a bracelet. So if you're new to this channel, this is where we cover watches available for purchase on our website, TeddyBaldassarre.com, as an authorized dealer. In this video, I'm going to be handing it off to my colleague, Danny Milton. He is a lover of all things Murph. This guy owns, I think, every single Murph in his personal collection. So I'm gonna let him do the honors for covering the Murph 42mm. Also is going to be someone who's really into cinema and movies, probably knows every single line from Interstellar. So he's gonna be in good shape to be able to review this one today. So in this video, deep dive in this timepiece, final points of consideration at the end. Also throughout this video, you have further questions, looking to buy this watch, check out the link in the description down below to the product page. Without further ado, let's hand it off to Danny, have him take a closer look at this watch.
Christopher Nolan is always thinking big, and for all of his sprawling epics, the sci-fi film Interstellar is arguably as big as it gets. And of all the films that Hamilton watches have appeared in, there is no more iconic than the appearance of the 42mm Hamilton Khaki Field Murph that appeared in the 2014 film Interstellar. The watch is so named for Matthew McConaughey's Cooper character's daughter, Murph. You could almost say that Murph's watch is another character itself. The watch certainly took on a life of its own in the years since, eventually becoming part of Hamilton's regular lineup in 2019, after 5 long years of pleas from fans. And in 2022, Hamilton released the 38mm variant for fans with, shall we say, wrist sizes smaller than an action hero's. But for true cinematic authenticity, the 42mm size is the way to go. The OG Murph has been out for a while now, so why the second look? Well, Hamilton has dropped a new edition in special packaging. It's the same watch as before, but now in addition to the new olive green presentation box, which also includes a Hamilton spring bar tool, they've included something that's never been available to this point. A bracelet that gives the 42mm Murph a brand new look. So let's launch into how the new bracelet transforms the Murph, and see what all the fuss is about. Right off the bat, in terms of the wear experience, the 42mm Murph, or the Murph Senior, wears like a proper tool watch. Whereas the 38mm version works for almost any wrist, the 42 is best suited to medium and larger ones. In this instance, the 52mm lug-to-lug is a full 10mm longer than the diameter, making the Murph wear larger than your typical 42mm case. The longer lugs look quite elegant, however, if you're able to pull it off, the look is fantastic. The 11mm case height and 22mm lug width are proportional to the rest of the measurements, so if the suit fits, I say wear it. Finishing is businesslike and well executed, with circular brushing on the case top matching the brush sides, and the bezel getting a refined bit of polish to act as a frame for one of the Murph's most captivating attributes, its dial. But more on that in a bit. The crystal is sapphire, an expected perk at the price tier, and the signed push-pull crown helps the Murph attain a 100-meter water resistance rating. It's well sized relative to the case, and combined with its grippy texture, it's a pleasure to use. A place where many watches fall short in terms of real-world ergonomics. The screwed-in case back adds to the security provided by the crown and offers a view of the automatic movement within, something that I find new collectors especially appreciate, even if the movement itself isn't highly decorated. But at risk of burying the lead, the big story of the Big Murph's re-release is the first-time availability of a bracelet for the 42mm model. The watch comes mounted on its standard alligator-printed black leather strap that features contrasting white stitching, and it's a classic package that gives this model an upmarket bump compared to your basic field watch fare. But with the included bracelet, this already assertive timepiece becomes a statement. If you remember the 41mm Tudor Ranger on its 3-link bracelet, you're in the ballpark. But the Murph's lug-to-lug outdoes the Ranger's 48mm by a full 4mm, offering a presence that's tough to beat, at least until you get into larger pilot's models. The bracelet's configuration closely follows that of the already established 38mm models, with its 3-link arrangement, refined hits of polish on the inner link's edges, and solid-feeling milled clasp. But it goes deeper than that. The big news on this new bracelet is somewhat hidden, and you might not even notice it until you were to pick one up, but it's the inclusion of quick-release spring bars for the bracelet. This is big because it means you don't need tools to attach and detach the bracelet from the watch, making swapping from the film-accurate strap to the bracelet a breeze. I can see this being a huge selling point for many, but now that it's this easy, I'd be putting a bracelet on this thing all day. And if I'm feeling nostalgic for Interstellar, I'll put the strap back on. Now the sign clasp receives brightly polished edges and actuates with dual push buttons, and elevates the Murph from discreetly elegant to a proper tool watch. When it comes to the dial, refinement is the watchword, especially when you compare this to other models in the Hamilton lineup, like the Khaki Field Automatic or the Khaki Field Mechanical. Where those watches adhere to an all-business ethos, the Murph aesthetic adds some distinctive touches that raise its game. The decidedly non-glossy black dial presents a tastefully muted backdrop for its near-perfect visual landscape. From its subdivided minute track to the widescreen look of the Arabic hour numerals, the tan markings smack less of Fotina and more as a considered choice. And while the lume isn't exactly world-beating, it's there and provides a warm green glow that matches the vintage mood of the watch as a whole. Dial text is thankfully minimal and delightfully retro, and the purposeful exclusion of a date window proves Hamilton approached this design with an artist's eye, and not some tick-the-boxes checklist of features dictated by committee. The handset is probably one of the most talked about attributes of the Murph, and on the 42mm variant, you not only have the cathedral-style hour and minute hands, putting some daylight between them, and the more rudimentary stick or sword forms, you also get the cinematic Easter egg that is the second hand. You'll need magnification to see it, but printed on the second hand is a message in Morse code that calls back to a pivotal point in the Interstellar plot. I'm not sure how I can spoil a movie that's been out for more than a decade, but the code spells out a single word: Eureka. It's a subtle touch, but one that delivers such a sly bit of fan service, it still brings a smile to my face. The 42mm Murph boasts one of the better movements among its competition, the H10 Automatic. This movement is essentially a modified ETA C07.611, and that's always been an edge for the brand, as Hamilton is a corporate sibling to the ETA division in the Swatch Group's portfolio of brands, so they can easily leverage the advantages of a vertically integrated manufacturing capability. The H10 features both hacking and hand winding, and its reduced beat rate of 3 Hz or 21,600 vibrations per hour contributes to its category-leading power reserve of 80 hours. The Powermatic 80 family of movements are anecdotally better regulated than much of their competition, and on the H10 you'll see a higher level of finishing, which keeps things simple while clean and aesthetically pleasing. A nice touch is the inclusion of a semi-skeletonized rotor, with the small but appreciated detail of a cutout Hamilton H. It's just a tiny stylistic nudge that inches Hamilton a bit above its peers. Now we turn over to the pros and cons, and like I like to do, I'm going to start with the cons. And the first con here is this is a large watch, and honestly, with the lug-to-lug, this is going to be a big watch on small wrists, where some Hamiltons, like the Khaki Pilot Automatic Day Date that I'm wearing on my wrist, can actually be okay on smaller wrists because of a compact lug-to-lug. Now, another feature that a lot of people like to see on their watches is a date window, which you're not going to find here, but of course, I find that to be okay because it keeps this watch true to what it was like on screen in Interstellar. Now turning to the pros, and considering the fact that I love this movie, that I wear the 38mm Murph pretty often, I'm just going to say this watch is ridiculously handsome. And the inclusion of the bracelet, much like it did in the 38mm model, completely transforms this watch. It provides a sporty counterpoint to the dressier look of the leather strap. Overall, this has great proportions for larger wrists, and the no-date dial, conversely to the cons we addressed earlier, is beautifully balanced. The accurate and robust ETA-based H10 movement has class-leading power reserve, and overall, this is a great value proposition for a Swiss watch. My final thoughts for the Hamilton Murph 42 on a bracelet are simple. It seems that people wanted to see a bracelet option, and I'm always a fan of options on watches. When you change straps and put on a bracelet, it's kind of like buying a new watch entirely. And if you were a fan of Interstellar but didn't always want your watch to feel exactly like it was on screen and wanted a personal touch for yourself, the bracelet is a great inclusion. And like I would say to anybody looking at the 42mm Murph, it's like wearing a piece of cinematic history on your wrist.
All right, guys, that's all we have for this video. If you did enjoy it, please give this one a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Really do appreciate that. That does help out the channel as well, so thanks again for it. Also, if you are in the market for the watch being reviewed here today, it is available on TeddyBaldassarre.com. TeddyBaldassarre.com is an authorized dealer for over 35 brands. Every purchase from our website comes with quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, and a full factory warranty for all the products that we offer. Also, in addition to that, you have further questions, check out our team on live chat. We'll be in the bottom right corner of our website. Feel free free to reach out to us there for any questions about a watch on our website you're looking to purchase. We're there around 18 hours a day. That is not AI down there. Those are real people, and we'd love to be able to help you out. And in addition, how we're able to keep doing what we do on the main channel and producing content every single week is through selling watches. So if you are in the market for a watch, we'd absolutely love to have your business. Let's keep doing what we're doing here. We love what we do. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.